Hey, how's everybody doing? It's Jim, and today I'm gonna do a first look, first ride, and first impressions of the Fiido electric scooter from Voro Motors. And I bought this from Voro. I'm in California, they're in California, so it arrived in a day. And yeah, it's kind of that sit-down style. I'm just gonna do a quick unboxing because most of these there isn't a whole lot to do. Oh boy, yikes! All right, watch out for the staples. Yee. I hope everybody's doing well. I mean, this is a tough time for everybody. So I'm here in my front yard in a safe spot doing this unboxing. So first look, all right, we got a little, one of those triple Allen tools, which is cool, little extra things, and a little quick start manual, just a little 2-pager. And I'll look at that if I need to. So, the wind just picked up, so hopefully it doesn't blow anything away here. So this one's got some of this soft touch foam, which I do like, just as a person, you know, at my own house. Like, you know, it's nice not to have, this doesn't make a big mess. And there's some things a lot of times I try to reuse this for things. I have some I stuck on my wall in my house. All right, so first impressions, it looks, I mean, it's just here. I mean, it's just, it's all put together. It's a pretty big box. I'll put the dimensions on the box. Pretty big. Looks like the tag here says 45 pounds. I forgot to weigh it before unboxing it. I'm just gonna lean the camera forward so you can kind of get a little bit of a look-see in there. So you can see kind of how it's packed. So I'm just going to pull it out and we'll check it out. I mean, it's I would just make sure it shouldn't be that light. Just pull it out this way. Got a box over here, and I'm going to throw that to the side. I think the little Fiido logo is kind of sharp. It kind of looks cool. This is one that's not necessarily produced. Let me get over to the camera. So this little guy is not produced by Voro Motors. It's I think it's a cooperation with another company. If I get some more information about that, I'll put it on there. So we got our charger. Let's see. It's a 2 amp output charger. This is a 36 volt system. So handlebars up, snap into place. That's that. So it comes with this small bag. And there's a little, hey, you know, there's some nice things I'm already seeing that I'm surprised about. So where the folding mechanism contacts the frame, there's a little sticky frame protection. Sometimes you'll see that on road bikes where the wires are running on the frame, where they tend to have a rub point. We got a little basket here, and look at that. Comes with a cable lock. I think that's fun. I like getting little extras, so that's cool. And here's a remote control. So it's a no key, which I kind of like. I don't necessarily like the key style because then you have to keep this in. It's moving around. So put that here in my pocket. See if I can really quickly figure out how this goes on the handlebar. It's kind of a nice little bag. I knew it came with. See those reactions, man? That's some quick reactions right there. Let's see. I'm gonna figure out how this bag. The bag zips a little differently. Oh, there you go. All right. So came to life. Takes 2 clicks from the little controller. All right. You got the your little horn. I'm just gonna lift up, make sure things are working. Wheels are turning, positive, and the seat's real nice. And this little basket, it looks pretty good on here too. And there's a little white stripe on the fenders, which you could give or take that. I don't know if it's, these are pretty flimsy little fenders. And mechanical disc brakes. Kind of a stubby, I'm gonna turn this around. The stubby little kickstand, I don't even know if you can see it there. And some foot pegs. And you know, all in all, I think it's a kind of a cute little thing. Let's go for a ride. All right, so we decided to do another first ride on the Fiido, because when we were riding it before, the battery was super low, and so I think it was feeling really slow, and I think it wasn't really giving the best first impression. So doing a little bit more of a ride here, and you can see here comes Milo now. He's got that front bag on. I had to do a little brake adjustment, but they still need some more adjustment because they're cheaper mechanical disc brake. And what do you think now versus when we first rode it with a low battery?
It's a whole lot more powerful, a whole lot faster.
Right. Feel like it handles pretty well and everything? All right, why don't you go do another loop, and then I'll kind of walk after you, and I'll try it too. The one thing I have noticed on this is you can see Milo has a size 13 foot, and the way his feet kind of hang down, he's had when he cornered more sharply, where his foot actually hit the ground, because those pegs are pretty close to the ground. That being said, my mom looked at it and she thought it was pretty approachable, which is unusual for her because she's not very confident on much wheeled stuff. What do you think you got up to for a speed? You think it goes up like 15 maybe?
I'm thinking like 17 maybe.
You think so? All right, we're taking bets on the speed. I'm saying it gets up to, I'm gonna say 14. Milo think it gets up to 17. Oh geez. Yeah, you can see there it's got a real stubby kickstand, but it's very solid. It actually does a good job, even though it looks like maybe we need to tighten up a little bit. You know, it's easy enough to, it's pretty firm. It got a firm spring in it. Almost a fail. All right.
Almost?
So, we only have a battery indicator here. It's not all that bright. It's similar to some other scooters. Half twist throttle, dual brakes with cutoffs. This is turns on the headlight, got the horn, and this is a cruise control button, which I think is kind of a cool feature on something this simple. Here, I'm just gonna do a little ride. Here's a max acceleration. Ooh, I did like almost like a little wheelie. So, I don't know how fast I'm going. I feel like it's pretty quiet. It's a geared hub motor, so you get a little bit more noise than you would without that. You can feel the dive of the front suspension when you brake, which is, you know, not that big of a deal. But oh, it kind of feels. It doesn't feel quite as goofy as some of the other sit-on-top scooters like this. So it's not too bad. It's kind of fun. I'm gonna give it a little max brake here, see how it does. Yeah, feels. I don't know. It feels. It doesn't feel that slow. I mean, it felt slow with low charge, but now it's pretty spunky. Mm-hmm. So here, why don't you?
It feels like it's almost faster after adjusting the brakes.
There could have been a little brake rub. So the brakes were a little bit finicky because they're low-end mechanical disc brake, and sometimes between that disc brake and the rotors not being perfectly true on some of these bikes, it's a finicky adjustment to get them tight. And this one I'm having a little trouble getting the rear, great braking in the rear. The front's working really well. But just one more look at this little bag I was having trouble getting on there before. It's kind of a nice little, and it's got some handles in here. So you could, in theory, take it off and, you know, go into the grocery store with it or something. And then pretty good volume there in that. So I'm gonna have Milo take off one more time, but I think it's, you know, oh, one other thing I wanted to mention is you can see, where is it on? Let's see if I can get on this side. Where is it? Okay. you can see there's some internal frame routing, and you can see there's no rubber gasket, and the edges are a little rough, and you can actually see a little bit of that kind of showing itself on the wires. Some of the welds aren't fantastic, but they look solid. Good powder coating, but there's some small details that are a little more budget oriented, which is to be expected. And then just coming back into here, you can see some of this, like again, the like semi-routed stuff. You get some routing and some external. I think I'll probably put a wrap on here to make it just look a little cleaner. But Milo's going to do another, I'm going to be right here by the motor. Milo's going to do a full takeoff and show you how it goes. Go for it, Milo. Yeah, it's quiet on takeoff. So one thing I'm just noticing, and I might change the routing behind this bar. This is the way it came. So Milo has a size 13 foot, and with his foot on the peg, he's actually sometimes hitting the brake cable, and that actually sort of, at certain times, will put it actuates a brake very slightly. So just something else to know. But I think that kind of gives you a little first look at this. The Fiido, and I'll be doing some more testing on it. But it feels a little more fun than some of these other sit-down scooters I've tried like this, and it's a little bit more to. It almost feels a little bit more like a banana seat bike, and I like the frame design where you can put a kid seat on top of it, and also you can potentially get a couple groceries, and it makes it a little more useful. I think it's kind of cool. Thanks a lot. Talk to you next time. Hey, how's it going? It's Jim. And bam. This should Popular Scout. Grunt transition. I'm gonna go talk to my chickens. Yeah.
Oh, no way. It's pretty neat.
Catch the wave, feel the